when you look at Raines, 5th in the history of the game in stolen bases, 54th in runs scored in the history of the game, won a batting title, stole 40 bases more. I think it was 11 different times in his career. I mean, the numbers are insurmountable, and clearly he impacted the game and changed the game, where when speed became a factor, he was the most impactful speed base runner, not named Rickey Henderson.
Did not name Ricky being the key there. Our guy Steve Phillips, check it out on demand. Talking about Rock Raines, one of the 3 guys elected into baseball's Hall of Fame tonight. His career spanned 23 years across 6 teams, most notably north of the border with Montreal. Now, Raines debuted on the ballot in 2008, so he's making it in his 10th and final attempt to get into the Hall. Now, after the announcement was made, Raines said that since he played in Montreal, many didn't get a chance to see him play. He said social media played a big role to get his name back out there. So is it legit or not in Neon to say Raines, The Rock, got into the Hall because of the millennials' social media figuring out just how great he was?
I'm going to go, nah. It was a part of it. It's not the reason the guy got in the Hall of Fame. Yes, we live in a different era in 2017 than we did when Rock Raines first got on the ballot in 2008. Yes, there was social media. Yes, there was a presence online and movements towards things, trends socially within sports communities that push things a certain way. Just look at the way hockey fans monopolize the All-Star voting, or Zaza Pachulia being one of the leading candidates for a little while there. There's movements that happen on social media, especially more so now than when he first was there. It was part of it, but it's not the reason he's there. I think you throw that in the mix, along with the fact that I think guys get a spike in their 10th year. I think that some you get a spike, but it's not enough to push over 75. For Rock Raines, it was. He edged closer, it trended upwards. I think this was also a pretty good year, too, in terms of there was still some banishment from the old curmudgeons that said, not letting Bonds and Clemens in. They're going to be around 55%, and that's going to be all. We'll make them wait it out. So those guys weren't going to get in yet. Some other guys weren't going to get in yet. There weren't some huge heavy hitter names. Some years you're like, wow, look at all these definites. We're going to get in. It wasn't that kind of year. So I think the fact, it was just a lot of things coming together. And certainly people on social media got a little momentum pushed behind that snowball. But when you add it to the fact that it was his 10th year and it was a pretty good year to get in, I think that's more the reason than just simply that a bunch of people started tweeting and getting things going on social media, and the Baseball Writers of America said, okay, we're listening, Twitter.
Yeah, in your 10th year in, I mean, I guess you could go, why 10 years? Did he get better in his 10th year of eligibility than he was in his first year? I mean, the numbers never changed.
It is a weird thing. Like for me, we have this debate all the time. Yeah. Hoffer or not, and you either feel yes or no.
That's the way I've always felt.
It's sort of weird that the same writers, and there's different writers sometimes, Baseball Writers of America, that they're not voting, or someone retires, someone passes away, whatever it may be, and there's new ones that come in. But for the same guys who voted no one time,
then all of a sudden
say yes, it seems weird. It seems a little weird that, this is the year I'll say yes. It shouldn't be like that. But that's why I made the point earlier in our show that I love the transparency, that we're going to know what every writer votes from now on, to say, wonder why that guy from the New York Daily News said no last year,
but this year.
I hope he goes on a radio station and goes on The Fan in New York and has to explain what changed his mind.